used to be a psychotherapist. I was a psychotherapist for 35 years. And as a result, I have enormous amount of material of dysfunctional relationships, basically. And so most of my songs feature dysfunctional relationships. And it's not because I'm dysfunctional, I don't think, but it's a wealth of material.
Is that where What's the Trouble with Mary came from?
Absolutely.
What's the trouble with Mary? Laughing all over her face, telling everybody she never had it better, falling all over the place.
That's about it's not a real person. It's about the woman that who is told that she's loved, but she can't believe it. I mean, that's just it's happened so many times, that sort of situation. You know, where somebody was so depressed and so suicidal, but they'd got people around them, loving them and liking them, but something had happened previously that had not allowed them to accept the love. You know? I mean, it just, whilst I'm talking about Mary, I went round to Toby's house, which is about 15 miles away, and I'd said, "Look, I've got her here. I've got this lady here, and I'm really bothered. I don't want her to die, but I don't know how she's going to get out of it." And his wife was walking past the door. This is a true story. And I said, "Penny, just come in here. Give me a woman's perspective on this." And I said, "I've got this lady. She's depressed. She's got a gun to her head. She's at the top of the hill. How can I stop her from killing herself?" And immediately she came out with this line. She actually said, "Well, I suppose she wouldn't like to get blood on her shirt." Yeah? And it was there. And what I normally joke and say, I changed it from shirt to shoes, so I didn't have to pay her any copyright.
Chose the place on the grass where they'd stood once before. It's a shame to get blood on the new shoes she wore. Time passing by with the stars all alone, puts the gun to her head, cold as a stone.
Okay, Graham, it's you're going to play a new song, two songs for us. Is that right?
Okay, yeah.
When were they written?
One of them was only written, probably finished. I was going to say recently, but I've just seen the date on it. It's a year ago. Goodness me.
Oh, that's recent.
That can't be right.
Far as we're concerned, that's just written yesterday.
So this one it's called Seedy Motel Room, and it comes from a stolen line. Again, I'm quite honest about all this sort of stuff. It was from a film, and it was I can't remember the actor's name. It was the Mission Impossible man.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. It came from a Tom Cruise line. Not in Mission Impossible, it was in another one of his detective things. But anyway, and he said this line, he said something about don't underestimate the charms of a seedy motel, yeah? Something like that. And I have a habit of writing things down. Whenever I hear anything like this, I've got a whole host of them on my phone.
Memorable quotes.
Well, what they are, they're song starters for me. And I've got so many there. I mean, I've got a whole host of new songs to write through these things. But that's where it came from. And so it was the first line was, don't ever underestimate, I've changed it slightly, don't ever underestimate the charm of a seedy motel room. That was the first line. And I thought, okay, where'd you go from there? And seedy motel room, it gave me the idea, of a lady of the night. And then I thought, well, I'm going to write a love song. So the guy, without trying to spoil the song for you, but the guy is attached to her. He eventually loves this lady. Yeah. But it's you can't fall in love with a lady tonight. Basically, and I've sang it a couple of times now over in Canada. Yeah, and one of the lines in the bridge, it's the line is, "You knew a place down on the Bedford Highway," and the Bedford Highway is a sort of through road going into Halifax, and I know there's hotels there, so I thought I'm okay with that, you know. But when we sang the song in Canada, seriously, this is true.
Go on.
Whenever we sang the song, people would come up to us or even shout out, "I know that hotel." And they all said the same hotel, which was amazing.
Did they know the lady of the night, though?
I was going to say, that's the point.
Hey, listen, I can't tell you the name because of, obviously, but it's a hotel along the Bedford Highway, and everybody knows that this is a like reputation. I didn't know. I mean, I said Bedford Highway because I like the term.
Don't ever underestimate the charm of a seedy motel room. A no-till motel will be just fine. I won't remember your name, but I'll love you just the same and hold you. Red light on your head, flashing from the neon sign. We got a carpet and a bed, and I loved it when you said, "Do you like my crocodile boots?" Oh yeah. You know, some people tell lies, some don't have a clue. Then there's you. Don't you ever contemplate the harm of too much information? Just you and me, players in a late night show. You know we'll never call, there's no obligation. Like ships in the night, so close, though we'll never know. Oh, I love you in bed, and I meant it when I said Shania's got nothing on you, girl. She don't impress you much, I know. Oh, but it's true. She knew a place down on the Bedford Highway. She'd get a deal for us. She'd been there once or twice. Now we're drinking whiskey, and I heard you whistling Dixie. Oh, thank you, Lord, for one of those nights. Do you ever close your eyes, think about that night in Bedford? Oh honey, I've thought about it once or twice. I know we said we'd never call, oh yeah, no complication. Got your number from the guy on the desk at a price. You said you're still knocking round the merry-go-round. You're tired, but you're doing okay, girl. gonna see you again, yes I will. One of these days.
Lovely, Graham.
That was good, Graham. Like that. I love the reference to Shania Twain.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know, shall I tell you something? That's what I live for, basically. I live for people hearing things.
And the link between saying the word Shania and a song, that was ace. I like that.
Well, that's right. Shania's got nothing on you. That don't impress you much, I know. I thought that was clever.
I heard it. You said
shall I-
Shania, and it was written on Nova Scotia, and she's
Yeah.
Canadian. So, you know, it kind of...
Yeah, well, yeah. I think it's nice when you see people in the audience smile or even snigger a bit or nod or whatever. And I want to confess something here. That actually came about through my wife. She gave me that line because I said Shania's got nothing on you, and I was writing the words while we were on holiday, just lazing and writing the words. I'd got the music already on my iPhone in my head on headphones, and I was just writing the words, and she said, "Why don't you say that don't impress you much?" And I thought, "Oh, what a great line!" So
Just
yeah,
say
it's
Harry,
hers.
because otherwise you're going to suffer royalties, mate.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I see it's out. It's out in the open now. It's out in the open. But I like lines like, you know, drinking whiskey and I heard you whistling Dixie. You know, rhyming whiskey and Dixie. I love that sort of thing. And to have a, you know, just the idea of, you know, you can imagine he's laying there and there's this woman with cowboy boots on whistling Dixie. It's just, you know, something about it is.
We've got to be careful
A
here.
memorable picture.
I think so. You know, I could go on all day about this, but you know, red light on your hair flashing from the neon sign doesn't
That was a nice
say.
line.
It doesn't say. You know,
Doesn't need to,
specifically.
does
It just
Doesn't need to.
it just gives you the idea.
What was the other song you wanted to play for us, Graham?
Okay. The other one is
That was my line, John.
It's
Sorry,
called
Chris.
it's called The Apology, and it's I think it's a bit shorter, this one, but I'm going to cap one for you. And it's a bit strummed. I don't normally strum a guitar, I normally pick, but I thought I'd strum this one. And when I strum, I'm sorry, but I tend to deaden strings. I just prefer. But anyway, so it's basically about. It's called The Apology, and it's when I was working in therapy. One of the things that people often did was apologize. Oh, I'm sorry for that. I've told her I'm sorry, or I've told him I'm sorry. And what I'd always say to them is, what is it you're sorry for? What is it you're actually sorry about? And what it was is the sorry word was just thrown in. It didn't mean anything. It was like, I've done that bit. I've done the sorry word, but they couldn't explain why they were sorry. And that's I think that you know, for me, that applies to lots of people. You know, I once when I was at work, I remember complaining about somebody insulting me, one of the managers, and I complained because I was a bit bullshit, because they didn't know what to do with me. I was trained as a psychotherapist and as an art therapist. Yeah, so I did art psychotherapy, which meant I would draw with people and paint with people, and then we'd talk about that. And it freaked people out. The staff I'm on about. So as a consequence, the staff were all a bit wary of me, especially if they were doodling on a pad. You know, they didn't want me to look at it.
Look over their shoulder.
Yeah, and I would play up to it. You know, I'd just say, "Oh, right, okay." You know, but anyway, yeah. So
That would have been very unnerving.
It would have been. This member of staff eventually had to apologise to me, but the way she did it was, the apology was, I'm sorry if what I said upset you. Now, you see, that's not an apology,
No, no.
is it?
No.
Which again fits in with this idea. So hopefully you catch the words in the song. It's called The Apology.
Oh Lord, it feels like Judgment Day, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Hope our romance can make it through. You know I loved you from the start, gave my soul, not just my heart. But I know it's not what I say, it's more what I do. Can you give this guy a break? There's only one mistake. You know I'm lying, 'cause that's not true. All those crazy drunken nights when I was thinking we're alright. You're smiling, but you just want to run me through. Help me feel like I'm sinking. Help me feel like I'm done. 'Cause when I'm hanging from the chandelier, saying I love you to a bottle of beer, oh Lord, I think my race is run. I'm gonna pack my bags and go, 'cause we were better when you didn't know me. The Prince of Darkness ain't got nothing on me. Hey, I know you've heard it all before, but you light me up like an all-night liquor store. I know that's not your favorite analogy. Help me feel like I'm sinking. Help me feel like I'm done. Yes, I've been dancing with the girl next door, but all I'm kissing is the barroom floor. Oh Lord, I think my race is run. Help me feel like I'm sinking. Help me feel like I'm done. Well, I love you till the bitter end, but you know the bottle's my best friend. Oh Lord, I think my race is run. Just one more time from me, this is my apology. Oh Lord, I think my race is run. Oh Lord, yeah, I know my race is run.
Sad. Very good, but sad.
Sad, yeah. But it's, you know, it's the drunkard who
Yeah.
apologizes, but actually, nothing's going to change unless he changes stuff. And that's a sad. It is a sad story, but it's, yeah. It's not. I mean, it's not autobiographical. I'm just throw that one in. There's another song I wrote with Barry. It's no, it's not Mary. It's another one. It's I can't remember. What's it called? I can't remember. But there's a middle eight in it, and it's about a couple breaking up. And the middle eight is where the guy confesses that he's hit her. And he says it's just my awkward way or something like that. I can't remember the exact words. And I wrote it with Barry years and years and years ago. And I remember we had a real argument about this chorus, about the bridge, I mean. Because I said, you can't say that, you can't, how are you going to sing that to an audience? And he rightly said, it's got to be done. People do that. It's not like it doesn't happen. And we played it at Buxton once. And as I said, I'm really happy when people hear the words and come up to me afterwards. But we played it at Buxton. This one guy came up to me and called me an advocate of domestic abuse. And he was really angry with me, really angry. I sort of undid it a bit by complimenting him because he'd heard the words, and I said, I'm really glad that you heard the words. Let me just be clear. It's not autobiographical. It's not. It's about a situation that exists. And that's the thing, isn't it? When you're singing a song, all too often the audience will believe it's you, But as we all know, when you're writing songs, you reach a point when you can only write so many things about your own life. And then you start picking up other things, and telling other people's stories and whatever.
And
so, yeah.
I mean, I think we've certainly found people, what you wrote the song about, but they relate it in a different way. It means something different to them. Yes.
I mean, and there's a word for that, and I can't remember what it is, but there's a word that describes that, where, that's the beauty, I think, of lyrics that can be read different ways. Some of my favorite lyricists, I can still listen to them and still get different things from them. And sometimes, I mean, if you trust them, if you trust the writer, and that they're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes or whatever, then you can listen and listen and listen to a lyric, and it can keep giving, I think. That's my understanding.
One of the things that we've been talking about, and we're talking to other people about, Graham, are the favourite places we've played, and the worst places we've played.
Yeah.
Which are your favourite, and which is the worst gig you've ever done?
Right, with no names though. I mean, you can't really do that, can you?
It depends whether you're still working or you think stuff it and you tell the truth.
Okay, way back. I mean, I remember we played a little pub in Coventry. This is going way back now. It's probably at the beginning of me and Toby. We couldn't find the place. We drove round and round Coventry, couldn't find it. The only way I could find the place, I knew a friend of mine was coming up from North London to see us, specifically to see us, him and his wife, and I knew he'd got a Porsche. So we were looking for a Porsche, honestly, and if we eventually found the pub. The sad thing was, him and his wife were the only two in the audience. It was awful. It was absolutely awful.
We played that where we outnumbered the audience 3-1.
Yeah. I mean, that was the worst one. Best one, probably Canada. Played at a place in a town called St. John, and there's a theatre there, and what is the theatre called? Gosh, I should know the name. There's a theatre there. We've played there 3, maybe 4 times now over the years. It's a big theatre. It's a sort of, whatever it is, 1,000-seater thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. Big old classic thing. And it was on we did a Christmas CD with Stan, with the guy with the radio. He wrote some new Christmas songs. We did some Christmas covers, and then I don't know whether you know this, but I wrote a Christmas song, and it's on that CD. I'm so chuffed with it.
Hey, hey, watch the snow falling down, snowing like Holiday Inn. Oh, be with your loved ones tonight. Merry Christmas to you and your king.
That's our cowboy show, big boy.